efforts at that point. You may have noticed that we have already started laying asphalt at that point, and very soon it should be open to traffic.
The project supervisor explains the project details and how it will serve motorists when completed.
Behind me now you can see we diverted traffic, and there's a curve on the old alignment here that is called Many Have Gone because of the series of accidents. So we have straightened the horizontal alignment, and at the same time we are reducing the gradient towards my distance. So by the time we finish the construction, we are going to connect both this side and the other side on my left side. So all this issue of dangerous curve and Many Have Gone will not be there again.
The sooner this project is completed, the sooner motorists will be saved the risk of accidents and attack by armed robbers due to the poor condition of the road.
And perhaps a more lethal risk, the people of Zangan Atakar community in Kaura local government area of Kaduna State are asking the federal and Kaduna State governments to help them get over the incessant attacks on the village by suspected Fulani herdsmen. The appeal is coming on the heels of the September the 29th killing of 15 indigents of the community by suspected Fulani gunmen who invaded the community, shooting and burning down houses, including a primary school and a church.
Ataka Township, a border community between Kaduna and Plateau states, is not new to attacks by gunmen since early this year. In all the attacks, many lives were lost and all the houses and farmlands destroyed. The district head of Zangan community, whose house was also burnt during this last attack, says members of the community have lived peacefully with their neighbors over the years before the invasion of the Fulani herdsmen, who have now made life unbearable for them.
Help us to talk to our neighbor state Plateau and the traditional ruler Ganauri and Bachit. If actually these people do come through their land for the attacks, are they supporting or not?
With their houses completely razed down, the villagers have become refugees in their own land. Many are fleeing their homes for fear of fresh attacks.
These people, they attack us every day. Know how we are going to sleep, know how my children will sleep. So that is why I say, let me pick them and take them to Abuja.
Expressing sadness over the frequent attacks on many communities, a group, Southern Kaduna Indigenous Progressive Forum, condemns the attacks and the killings of over 100 people in their ancestral land.
Condemns attacks on Takat people and other Southern Kaduna communities, calls for federal and state government intervention to fish out the perpetrators for justice to take its course while restoring normalcy to the restive communities.
The people are demanding for the adjustments of the boundary between Kaura local government and Ringam in Plateau State with a view to curtail the movement of Fulani herdsmen who often use the route to unleash attacks on them.
When we return in just a moment, the destruction of Syria's chemical weapons is underway. We have that and more on the foreign scene as well as sports news right after the break.
One city, 18 million people and counting. Over 18 million dreams of a better life and a team tasked to bring those dreams to reality. What is their game plan? What goals have been achieved? Who are the players? Find answers on Deadline Lagos every Saturday at 3:30 p.m. only on Channels Television.
Every day as they happen, opinions arise.
I lost money in Africa. Sanusi said he couldn't care about the shareholder. Is that possible?
For and against, they have to be heard.
The government of this dispensation has made a very strong commitment. Yet, bombs keeps going on every day. People are dying, and we are talking grammar.
Unfeatured.
We are the worst advertisement of the product we are trying to pick.
Uninhibited.
People are contravening and contradicting traffic rules.
And issues are laid bare.
This is what is called in psychology narcissism. Is worse than megalomania.
And the weight decided by you. Face Off, Wednesdays 8 to 9 p.m. only on Channels Television.
On the foreign scene, international monitors in Syria say work has begun on destruction of the country's chemical weapons. The destruction of the stockpile being carried out by the Syrians is not expected to be straightforward, as some sites are in combat zones. The operation is being overseen by a team from the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, OPCW. It's the first time the OPCW, based in The Hague, has been asked to oversee the destruction of a chemical weapons armory during a conflict. The Syrian government gave details of its chemical weapons arsenal last month to the OPCW under the Russia-US agreement, which also provided for Damascus to join the Chemical Weapons Convention. And in North Africa, Libya has asked the US government to explain why it embarked on a raid of one of its territory by US commandos on Saturday. Prime Minister Ali Zaidan said he had asked for clarification and stressed that Libya was keen on prosecuting any Libyan citizen inside Libya. The raid captured al-Qaeda leader Anas al-Libi, whom the US says is currently lawfully detained outside Libya. The other raid was in southern Somalia, but failed to capture its target. Now, there are reports that a German embassy employee in Yemen has been shot dead. The attack took place outside a supermarket in the capital, Hadda district, where the German and other foreign embassies are located. The victim, reported to be a bodyguard of Ambassador Carola Müller-Holtkemper, has not been named. German officials say they are checking the reports. Yemen is struggling to control general lawlessness and al-Qaeda insurgency and divisions within the army. Initial reports suggested that the attack was a failed kidnapping attempt of Germany's ambassador. In sports news, FIFA has granted Olanrewaju Kayode provisional clearance to join Heartland with immediate effect. The decision was reached on Friday by a single judge of the FIFA Players Status Committee, Jeff Thompson. Consequently, the world governing body authorized the Nigeria Football Federation to register Kayode with the Nigerian Premier League side, NPFL. This means the Flying Eagles striker can resume his career with Israeli club Maccabi Netanya, as he was loaned out to the club by Heartland at the expiration of his contract with Ivorian club ASEC Mimosas. In England, Eden Hazard and Willian were on the score sheet as Chelsea got their first Premier League away win of the season at Norwich. Oscar put the visitors ahead with a first-time shot from inside the area, but Anthony Pilkington equalized with a header midway through the second half. Norwich pressed in the final few minutes, but they were punished when substitute Hazard stabbed in after a swift counter-attack. Willian curled in a delightful third a minute later to wrap up victory, and goals from Adam Lallana and Jay Rodriguez helped Southampton 2-0 to a 2-0 victory over Swansea. This win means Mauricio Pochettino's side have kept 5 consecutive clean sheets and have won 4 matches this season. While Serena Williams continued her excellent form in 2013, the world #1 outclassed 8-seeded Jelena Jankovic in straight sets to win the China Open. The 32-year-old American had struggled with a back problem in a semi-final, but seemed untroubled against Jankovic, beating the Serbian 6-2, 6-2. She has now won the French Open, US Open, and 8 other titles this year, losing just 4 of 76 matches.
Well, I'm always really positive. I have a little over 24 hours to get back together, and obviously playing Jelena, we had a really tough, long final on clay earlier this year, and she plays really well, and she's had such a great tournament, and she wants to go one further, and so it'll be a good match regardless of what happens. I'm excited to still be in the tournament. I can't believe I'm still in the tournament, so for me it's just an honor to still be here.
Well, he's been toppled, but he still conquers his conqueror. Novak Djokovic has won his 4th China Open title in 5 years. Djokovic dispatched Rafael Nadal, who will replace him as the world #1 on Monday, 6-3, 6-4 in the final. The Serbian continued his exploits in Beijing, improving his tournament record to 19 wins. It took him 1 hour and 27 minutes to hold his run of 3 defeats against the Spaniard. Nadal had to reach the final in the tournament to displace Djokovic from the top ranking. The 26-year-old Djokovic stamped his authority on the title match early, racing to a 3-love lead in the first set and never allowing the Spaniard, who went into the match unbeaten on hard courts this year, to stage a comeback.